RLCS is back with a new season, a new logo, and of course, brand new rosters. There were a ton of ridiculous moves that were made over the offseason. Some notable ones being SSG dropping Reddles and picking up LJ, FaZe dropping AJ and picking up Mist, Furia moving to NA, Dignitas coming back to NA, Appjack and Nolly coming to NA, and Optic crafting a brand new super roster consisting of Magic Bear, AJ, and Reddles, which makes for some juicy matchups in the future. With that out of the way, let's get into North America's first regional, otherwise known as the Fall Open. These are the teams that participated. The format hasn't changed any since last season, so the first day of the event all took place on team streams in a Swiss format, which saw, in no particular order, new SSG sweeps Seoul, V1 beating Axel, which used to be Accelerate. They have a new roster consisting of Gimmick, Toasty, and Ajax. G2 swept Luminosity, who sadly moved away from EU and are no longer formally known as T, so we can add that joke to the list of retired jokes. I am now sad. Furia and Complexity have a sweet reunion in their new home, which goes to a Game 5. Furia takes it, however. Optic's new roster faces off against PK and loses? That was surprising. Let's keep going. FaZe beats Gen G, I'm sure we won't see that matchup again. Shopify sweeps Rogue, and finally, NRG and Dig face off for the first time in forever, and NRG loses in a Game 5. The second round sees SSG beat Furia, G2 sweep PK, Shopify beat Dig in a Game 5, they're off to a hot start, and FaZe beat V1. Seoul beats Complexity, Optic goes to a Game 5 with Luminosity and wins, NRG sweeps Rogue, and Gen G beats Axel, formerly known as Accelerate. Our first round of elims sees Rogue get eliminated in a Game 5, and Axel, formerly known as Accelerate, beat Luminosity. V1 advances over Seoul, Gen G sweeps Dig, Optic beats Furia in 4, and NRG sweeps PK, and to be honest, all of these results have me so confused as to who is better than who. Everything is all over the place, but yeah, we'll call that depth. G2 beats FaZe in 4, SSG beats Shopify in 4, and we're on to the next round. Dig gets eliminated by Complexity, Axel, formerly known as Accelerate, gets eliminated by Furia, and finally, Seoul gets eliminated by PK. Time for the first ever FaZe versus Optic matchup, which is a monumental moment for our esport. We know this will be a great matchup, and there is real beef as Mist and AJ are facing their former respective teams. I can't wait for this series. And FaZe sweeps. That was unfortunate. Gen G sweeps NRG, and the fact that two former EU players are doing so well against all of these NA teams make me nervous, but at least Chronic goes nuts to balance it out. V1 faces off against Shopify and loses. What is happening? Who's better than who? I can't do. I need a drink. Okay. Our last round to determine the last 3 spots sees V1 sweep PK, Optic go to a Game 5 with Complexity and win, and finally NRG faces off against Furia, which also goes to a Game 5. But Furia takes it. Finally on to playoffs, Furia and G2 battle it out with G2 winning in 6, FaZe puts an end to PayPal Rebellion's crazy run, Gen G beats V1 in 5, and we see Optic versus SSG, which is a hype matchup as Reddles has a chance to take revenge against Arsenal and Dan the Man, and they lose in 5. FaZe and G2 have a rematch, and both teams look to be in top form. Hopefully this series is phenomenal. Just kidding, FaZe wins in 5. On the other end of the bracket, Gen G faces off against new SSG, and Gen G beats SSG in 5, so 2/3 of an EU team in the grand finals of an NA regional, with our last hope being relying on Asfura and Roldiz to avoid jinxing us, so it's looking dire. Grand finals are here. FaZe versus Gen G. Chronic has been going crazy all tournament. First Killer looks like the best player in the world again, and it all comes down to this. All I hope is that we have a good series once in this playoff bracket, and I get slapped in the face with another Game 5 series that sees FaZe win out against Gen G. All the teams played great in this event. The depth is real, but sadly, due to tradition, we won't see FaZe win a regional until the last event of the spring split. Hey, thanks a ton for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more, please consider subscribing and checking out the playlist of these videos on my channel. I can't thank y'all enough for the support. You guys are awesome. Okay, bye!